Assalamu alaikum students. So today we are going to start our 8th lecture, that is unit number 5, message in a bottle, page number 43. So like always, first I will explain a short summary of this lesson, then we'll start reading, and side by side you will underline difficult words that you have to learn later on. So message in a bottle is a story about a message that was found in a bottle. It's about two children, Afia and Asan, who were living in a small village. It was their fathers were fishermen, so in their village there were no schools, so mostly the children were playing and enjoying themselves all the day long. So one day while they were playing near the beach, they found a green bottle. So they go and pick up the bottle and find a page in that bottle. As there were no schools in their village, so they could not read and write, so decide to go to their shopkeeper named Babu, who knew to read and write, so that he would help them to find the message, what's written in that letter. When they reach to Babu, he reads and writes for them the letter, that it is message of David, who lives in New Zealand. That letter was of David, who was living in New Zealand. So Babu then tells the children that now you have to reply to that David that you have found this letter. But the children become sad that they do not know to read and write. Later on, the old Babu tells them that he is going to help them to read and write, so they will be able to write back or reply to David. Like that, the old Babu started teaching both the children how to read and write, and from that moment onwards, they both knew how to read and write. And after some months, they were able to write a letter back to David and give him the news that they found their letter. Like that, the years passed and they wrote letter to David, and David also wrote back to them. Now start. That's the summary. Now we'll start reading. A long ago, two children, Afia and Hassan, lived in a small fishing village, underlined village, 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 by the sea in the south, underlined south, South, south of Pakistan. They were good friends and lived next door to each other. Their fathers were both fishermen. There was no school in the village, so the children built sand castles, chased crabs, swam in the sea, and climbed coconut, underlined coconut, coconut, coconut palms all day long. They had a wonderful, underlined wonderful, wonder, full, wonderful life without any worries. One day they were playing on the beach when they found a large green bottle, underlined bottle, bottle. With great difficulties, underlined difficulties, difficulty, the children took the cap of the bottle, and inside it they found a piece of paper. What does it say? Cried Afia excitedly. I did not know, replied Hassan. There is some written on it, but we can't read. The children wondered what to do. Old Babu, the shopkeeper, underlined shopkeeper, SHOP shop, KEEPR keeper in the village, could read. He could be able to tell them what it said. They decided to go to him. They scrambled, SCAMBERED, scrambled along to the shop with the bottle and the paper. Look, Babu, cried the children excitedly. Underline excitedly, EXCITEDLY, excitedly. Look what we discovered. Underline discovered, DISCOVERED, discovered on the beach. Old Babu took the paper from the children. He put on his glasses and started to read. If you get this, said Old Babu, reading from the paper, please write to me. I am David and I live in a small fishing village in New Zealand. Here is my address. Underline address, ADDRESS, address. Old Babu pointed to the address on the paper. Here is the boy's address, he said. This bottle has come all the way from New Zealand. It's a country far, far away from the deep blue sea. You must write to David. He must be a small child just like you. Tell him that you have found his message. Underline message, M-E-S-S-A-G-E, message. Why are you looking so sad? Asked old Babu. We cannot read or write. Can we? Replied Afia quietly. Underline quietly. 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 We are foolish. You are not foolish at all, said old Babu. Why don't you learn? There is no school here, said Asan. How can we learn? I will teach you, said old Babu with a smile. From that day, after every afternoon, underline afternoon, A-F-T-E-R, and double O-N, noon, afternoon, when the shop was quiet, the children with old Babu, he gave them paper and pencils and taught them. Some months later, Afia and Hassan wrote a letter to David in New Zealand. He wrote back to them. The months went by, the years went by. Afia and Hassan still write to David. Now they are nearly as old as old Babu was when he first read them the message in the bottle. So that's all for today's lecture. I hope you have understood the lesson. Now you have to read and the lesson and the difficult words. So that's all for today's lecture. Thank you.